Yes, hi guys, Wolfgang here. Welcome to this new video on my channel. If you're in the TYPO3 universe, then you probably know that there are certain certifications. You can get certified as an editor, integrator, developer, and consultant. These are exams that you can take. You then have a nice certificate afterwards, and this can certainly have many advantages in your professional life if you have such a certificate. But how can you actually prepare well for this exam? There is a website, an online tool, which I would like to show you in this video, so stay tuned. Yes, preparing for an exam like this can be a bit time-consuming. A lot of knowledge is required, and you should prepare well. And there are actually a few sources that you can use. There is, of course, the official documentation. For many of the certifications, there are now also books that you can buy to help you prepare. But there is also a very useful online tool that I would like to show you, and you can even use it for free. Let's go straight to my screen. This is the Skill Display website. Skilldisplay.eu is the domain. And yes, as the name suggests, you can display skills here, skills that you need to have in order to pass a certain exam, for example. And feel free to have a look around the site. I'm going to concentrate on the essentials in this video. Let's go straight to the login area here. This is where you can log in with your account, and there are now several options here. You can create your account here with any email address. But if you are in the TYPO3 environment now and also want to get certified, I would recommend that you log in here with your TYPO3 account. You can create it here on my.typo3.org. You can create it for free and then link it here. I would definitely recommend that because there are also certain automatisms for how these systems work together. I'm going to log in here with my account, and then I'll see you again in my account. So I've now logged in and I'm here in my dashboard. This may look a little different for everyone. You can also take an introductory tour here. But what can we actually do here now? We're interested in these skill sets up here. If we go up there, we can see so-called skill sets for a wide range of topics. As you can see, it's not just TYPO3 that we're talking about here, but various other topics are also covered. Feel free to take a look. But let's stay in the TYPO3 area for now. For example, you can now see the certified developer for TYPO3.10, but also here for TYPO3.11, the one for version 12 is in progress. It's not online here yet, but will certainly be soon. We see the same thing here for the editor or here for the integrator. And for each of these skills, you can see the different areas of self-assessment, educational verification, practical expertise, and official certification. Self-assessment is a check for you. You can tick off what you already know. I'll show you exactly what that means later. Educational verification means that you might take part in a training course that works together with skill display, and then the trainer can confirm that you have learned and know the topics. Practical expertise is, it has to be said, rather rare in use. It relates more to companies that work with skill display, where trainees or interns, for example, cover what they learn here. And the official certification actually refers to the official certification by TYPO3. This means that if you take and pass a certification and receive your certificate, this will also be visible here. Let's just go into a skill, for example, the one for the integrator for TYPO3. 11, here too, the one for 12 is not yet online, but it's actually as good as finished. Maybe when you watch this video, the skill set for the integrator in version 12 is already online. That may well be the case. Well, you now have some information here, and you also have resources here, namely the so-called syllabus. The syllabus is an overview of the topics that you should know or need to know if you want to pass the certification. You can also click on it. A PDF will then be generated. You can also download it. We can see that this is actually generated on the fly because things can change from time to time with this syllabus. Errors can be corrected. There probably won't be any new things added within this one branch, but errors may well be corrected. Mistakes can happen here too, of course. And here you can see all the topics that you should have mastered if you want to take the integrator certification exam at some point. This is now a PDF. It's relatively confusing, but still, if necessary, you can also print it out or download it to your tablet or do something with it. But I'll go back again. You can also download the complete PDF here. This is also generated on the fly. Takes a little longer, and here you have even more information, and you can also see a description of the individual skills, the goals, what you should know, and links where you can find information about them. That's also the cool thing here for all the topics covered here. For all the skills you need to know or have, you'll find further links where you can find information and find out about them. But even that is still relatively confusing. We can see that there are now 112 pages. That's quite a lot, but it could actually be even better. If you go to the recommended skills section here, at the moment I can see that nothing is recommended for me because I've already done everything here as a self-assessment. But if it looks like that for you, you can go to show all skills and then you'll see all the skills you need to have, so to speak. And that's also the order in which you should actually work through them. I'd say if you stick to this order, then you don't run the risk of having a gap somewhere or missing something. And once you've gone through all of this and know what you need to know, you'll have a very good basis for the certification exam. I can go into a skill again. Let's take PageTSConfig as an example. Then we see here, okay, what's it all about? What are the goals? I know what PageTSConfig is and what the differences are to TypeScript in the front-end template. I know the basics, which settings can be made with it, and so on. So these are the questions you should answer for yourself. If you can answer this with yes, then you have the skill. You can also find the things you should know beforehand here. If we are here in the PageTSConfig area, then you should at least know what TypeScript actually is. What is the syntax and what are the basics? And you can find further resources here, in this case, the official TYPO3 documentation, the TSConfig reference. There are also so-called tags that have something to do with it, and so you can navigate your way through a bit. You can also say, okay, I still need a bit of prior knowledge, then I can click on this and then you land in this skill. And here you have exactly the same thing, and you can see that there are a few more goals defined here that you should know. But it's exactly the same here too. You can go back to the previous knowledge, so to speak. You'll find links and so on. If you then want to mark a skill as learned for yourself, so to speak, you can click on this self-assessment here at the top. I can't do that now because I've already done it. Alternatively, you could click on the other things here, except official. Of course, you can't do that because it only works in conjunction with the official certification. However, someone who has given you training, for example, could do the other things. Self-assessment. You can do that yourself. It's more of a check for you. Have I already worked through this skill or not? But let me go back to the overview. Here we can see this again quite well. About TYPO3, that's the skill that starts with or with which everything begins. Then we have all these TypoScript stories. Then comes TSConfig at some point. Yes, I would say that the sequence is relatively well thought out in terms of what you should know here in order to succeed as an integrator. There are a lot of topics touched on in the margins, I'd say, which are more interesting for editors, but which you should also know as an integrator. But you can find it all here. I think it's a very practical method to bring yourself up to speed, so to speak, before you take an exam, just to make sure. Hey, I've done everything I need to do to pass the exam. Yes, that's a little tip from me. You can use the website for free. Have a look at it. Feel free to pass it on. And if you're planning to take one of the certifications, I'd recommend it. Get an account and work through it. It's a very good basis for successful certification. Yes, in this sense, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and also give feedback on whether you already knew this tool, whether you use it. I'd be really interested to know because I have the feeling that many people don't even know about it yet. That's why I made this video, just to make it a little better known. Hopefully we'll see you in a future video. See you then.